Well, if I had to say who was leading the way in sports OTT outside of the PGA Tour, obviously I am a little biased. I think the work we're doing with ESPN is really fantastic and showing a lot more golf than we've ever shown before. And when we get to the players, every shot live has really been transformational for our game. Outside of golf, I think that F1 does a really great job. SailGP does a really great job. They've done some amazing things with AR in their broadcasts to really change the game. Those are some of the folks that we look to.
Leading the way for sports OTT are various platforms. I really love how deep GCN is going in servicing us bicycle fans. I really like the work of ESPN Plus, the way how they do the onboarding, how they do the connection with the smart TV. And as a general platform, I really love the Disney platform, how they treat profiles, how they create safe environments for kids, and they do great targeting.
I think it depends on how you measure it. You've got significant players like Disney who have ESPN in the US. And I think obviously ESPN's a huge brand, but one of the biggest challenges they have in the US is what they put on ESPN 1 and 2 on their linear channels, they can't replicate on their digital platform. And that kind of hamstrings what they do on ESPN Plus. In Europe, we don't have the same challenges. Whatever we put on Eurosport or whatever we'll put on BT Sport, we can also put on our streaming product, and that gives us a huge leg up.
In terms of leaders amongst the sports OTT space, I think the NFL Game Pass product is an incredible product, and it has the benefit of having multiple games on at once, which creates a huge user experience. The other one that comes to mind in the UK is the BT Sport product, with the ability to have multiple Champions League games at once, ability to have overlay of data, stats, and very easy to use and intuitive. So I think that those two, I guess, from a global NFL perspective, is probably one that everyone is aware of, but also closer to home in the UK, BT Sport do an amazing job, I feel.
I think one of the best operators in the sports OTT space is KO in Australia. I might be showing my Australian bias on that, but I think that they've done a really good job of not only aggregating a lot of content, but really developing the technical product on offer for fans and the ways that fans can watch either multiple games or interact with different content while watching games. I think they've done a really good job there.
I think that the UFC is doing a really good job in terms of their socials and in terms of supporting their creators. We see a lot in terms of their messaging being out there and really growing a new fan base.
I think hard to answer, give you one company that's leading the way per se. I can speak to two companies that I think are doing interesting things. One is for sure DAZN. They're the first company that's trying to create, if you will, the Netflix of sports, and they've done some interesting things with women's football and recently with some other properties. The other one I think is particularly interesting to watch is Peacock in the US. Their acquisition of Premier League football rights in the US was a spectacular deal, and how that's going to shape up the evolution of fan audiences and the growth of Premier League as a property in the US will be really interesting to watch.